One of the great things about the all-in-one SEO pack plugin is that it works out of the box with no configuration on your part. That means you can jump right in and start adding SEO meta information to your posts and pages without doing any kind of setup. Before we get into actually adding the information, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Here you can see a post I wrote in my WordPress site. It's called Who Owns WordPress or How to Make Money in a GPL Universe. And here you can see the entire post. If I take my mouse and I hover over the tab for this post, you'll see that the title of the tab is also Who Owns WordPress or How to Make Money in a GPL Universe. And if I hit Control U and scroll down, you'll see that here we have the title tag. This is the title tag that will display up here. And when I scroll down, you'll also see we have a description tag down here. The description tag is the content that will show up when people search for this content on search engines or when people share it on social media sites like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. And here you can see that all-in-one SEO pack is already kicking in. And what it's done is it's grabbed the first sentence of my article. So down here, the first sentence, and displays that as the description of the article. If you didn't have all-in-one SEO pack installed, Google and other search engines would do the same. They would scrub down into your article and find the first sentence and then display it. But if you start your article with an image, that means that they would scrub down in your article, find the image, and then go, oh, I can't read this, and then try to display it. So you get very poor description information. Now, here's the thing. In the context of the article, so what you're looking at here, the full article, the title and the first few sentences make perfect sense. But when it comes to search results and also when people share your article, what you want is for them to see a title that appeals to them and also a description of the content, not the beginning of the content. That's where the SEO plugin comes in. We can now create a custom title and a custom description for the article just for search engines and social sharing sites. When I go in to edit my article, you'll see here, this is just a regular WordPress editor. And all that's changed is we now have a new panel. It's called All-in-One SEO Pack. From here, you can either upgrade to the All-in-One SEO Pack Pro version by clicking the link and reading what the differences is. And you can also see a guess at what this article will look like if it's found on a search engine. As you can see, we currently have the title, and then we have the first few sentences of the article. And like I said, this is not a very good representation of the article. What we want to do here is create a title that's appealing to people and maybe also fits different search results than the main title. And then we want to put in a description that's a short description of the actual article so that people can see what the article is about. So what I'm going to do here is put in a title that's a little contentious and also matches what I think people might be searching for. So I'll say WordPress versus GPL. Who calls the shots? Then I'm going to add a custom description. So I'll say, is it possible to earn money while sticking to the WordPress GPL license? Morton thinks so, and here's why. Now, when I update my post, so I'll scroll up, click update, and then scroll down again, you'll see my preview now says WordPress versus GPL, who calls the shots? And then the description says, is it possible to earn money while sticking to the WordPress GPL license, etc. So now we've created a custom title and a custom description. And this is what will display in search engines and will also display when people share this content on social media. And as you can see, there's far more likelihood of people clicking on this than the previous description that just was the first few sentences of my article. There's also one other thing that happens, so let me show you. I'm going to open this post in a new window here. And notice how in the old post, the title of the tab says, Who owns WordPress or How to Make Money in a GPL Universe? In the new tab, the title of the tab is WordPress versus GPL, who calls the shots? But when you look down here, you see the title is still the same because all we did here was change the meta title and the meta description. This is the information that comes in addition to what you see in the browser. You can see it if you hit Control U again in your browser. You'll see here I have the title and it now says WordPress versus GPL. And when I scroll down, You'll see my description has now changed to "Is it possible to earn money while sticking with WordPress GPL license?" Now there are a few more fields in this panel. In addition to title and description, you see I also have a keywords field where I can put in keywords. Now I'm just going to tell you this up front. There's no point in putting keywords in this panel because no search engine and nothing else on the web actually tracks keywords anymore. It's an old technology, so forget about it. It's not worth it. Below that, you have 3 checkboxes: robot meta no index, robot meta no follow, and disable this page or post. These are custom features that allow you to do one of 3 things. If you check robots meta no index, Google will not index this post, meaning it will not be on the sitemap and Google will not be aware that it's there. Robots meta no follow will make it so that Google will not follow the links within the post to anywhere else. So that's something you may want to do if you link to something you don't necessarily want to give credit to. Disable on this page or post simply means you disable this function on this page or post. And when you check that, you can also click disable Google Analytics so you don't get analytics for this post. Now, seeing this, you probably want to know, why would you want to unindex this post? Or why would you want to block the links from being followed or even disable SEO for a post? Well, in some cases, you may have certain regions of your site that are only for members, or you may have secret regions of your site, or there may be other reasons why you don't want Google to index it. And this is the way to simply turn it off so that Google will not be aware that this site is there. It is not 100% secure, but it's good enough that you won't have a situation where a secret page or a hidden page on your site all of a sudden shows up at the top of a Google search. Now you see what I meant when I said you can add customized information just for search engines and social networks, and you see that it's easy to do so. I recommend placing the all-in-one SEO pack panel directly under your post editor and making filling it out a standard part of your publishing routine.